Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for the Daily Report tonight with me, Victor Muyakane, and of course, our sign language interpreter over there is called Walter Juma. I believe I signed that properly. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had some technical difficulties, which is why we're starting our news now. For those who stayed with us and those who are joining us right now, thank you for your patience. And we start our coverage with the following. The Ministry of Health, led by Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, insists that all those who are involved in the irregular internship placement of nursing students for the 2025-2026 cohort will be held accountable in order to safeguard professional standards and protect the rights of nursing graduates. Our very own Elizabeth Atieno starts us off.
On Monday, the Ministry of Health uncovered serious breach of regulations involving the Nursing Council of Kenya and 10 public and private universities, which allegedly unlawfully submitted 42 nursing students for internship before the completion of the academic programs. Health CS Aden Duale now confirms that he has held a meeting with the vice-chancellors of the affected universities and they have resolved to fully digitize the internship process.
The 42 students who have not completed their course and were posted for nurse Bachelor of Science nursing internship. The 42 of them, they have received their letters of revocation.
The Ministry of Health has equally suspended Dr. Leicester Osongo, who is the CEO of the Nursing Council of Kenya, pending the outcome of a comprehensive internal audit of the full cohort of nursing interns. Anne Mukuna, who is the Director of Standards and Compliance, has been appointed as the acting CEO.
Shilling appropriated by Parliament, more so for the Ministry of Health and its sagas, I will account for it. Yesterday we have suspended the CEO of the Nursing Council of Kenya until investigations are complete. And today we have given the 10 universities that they will be also investigated. So the team that's investigating will go to those universities.
The Ministry of Health will soon establish a desk to specifically deal with internship issues across all cadres in the health sector in a bid to uphold the integrity of healthcare training and deployment.
The public service regulations allow me to post 2,000 nurses. So the rest will wait next year. They have reported. I have a budget for them. You know, I can't post from January to December.
Meanwhile, 24 million Kenyans have registered with SHA. 4.5 million Kenyans have received treatment under the Primary Healthcare Fund, and 2.2 million have benefited from the Social Health Insurance Fund. Additionally, 6.82 billion Kenya shillings has been paid under the Primary Healthcare Fund claims. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
All right, now on to other news. And the family of Dr. Susan Njoki Kamengere, founder of Toto Touch, is crying out for justice after she died under unclear circumstances at Chiromo Hospital in Lavington on July the 11th. A post-mortem conducted today revealed that Dr. Susan was manually strangled. This shocking finding comes days after Susan posted an audio on social media claiming that she had been forcibly taken from her home and injected without her consent. And as Sheila Chelangat reports, in the audio, she names her husband, Alois Ngure, and her psychiatrist as the people who authorized her alleged abduction. Take a look.
Emotions ran high here at the Montezuma Funeral Home. Just moments after pathologists delivered their findings to the family of Dr. Susan Njoki, a nurse and known businesswoman, on the cause of her death.
There were features of compression to the neck, and those features are in keeping with manual strangulation.
In a post she made online just hours before her death, Susan Njoki alleged to have been forcibly taken from her home by 4 individuals before being injected without her consent and taken to Chiromo Hospital. In her post, she alleged that her husband, Alois Ngure, as well as her psychiatrist, had authorized the forced admission.
The intention of correcting her, forcing her to go to hospital against her will, was there. The instruction was given by the husband. The doctor was not even able to say if she had seen her for the last 4 or 3 months.
According to the pathologist, Susan died not more than 4 hours after having her last meal at the hospital. Her family insists, however, that before these events, Susan was in good health and stable.
Nikamwacha saa 2 ya usiku na hakuwa na shida yote. But asubuhi yake bado tukaongea kukiwa 6:30 akaniambia vitu zile nitampelekea, na vile nilienda hospitali nikaambiwa siwezi kubaliwa kuingia hospitali unless Alois anipe ruhusa.
Susan's husband had been taken for questioning by the DCI before being released on bail. Meanwhile, the family has called for expeditious investigations in piecing the last moments of Susan Njoki's life.
What was the interest and the motive of the person who sent the persons who picked Susan from her house? What was the interest? And could this have been the intended outcome?
Others also arrested and interrogated are some staff at the facility, as well as Susan's psychiatrist, Dr. Onyancha. Investigations into the death of Dr. Susan now commences, even as the family demands answers as to who accessed her while in hospital. Sheila Chelangat for TV47 in Nairobi.
Now, folks, a family in Busia is grappling with grief and confusion after the body of their missing relative, Samuel Owino, was found in Shakahola Forest. Owino had reportedly left Busia for Ndiwa with his 2 sons, but how he ended up in Shakahola remains a mystery. Now, his family is pleading with the public for legal assistance in order to trace the whereabouts of the 2 boys who have not been seen or heard from since. Our reporter, Brenda Mudhoni, with the details.
The Shakahola incident sent shockwaves around the country as it served as a silent warning to believers against religious extremism. But for one Samuel Owino from Busia County, the Shakahola incident made him believe that the victims would go straight to heaven. According to his family members, he expressed that given the chance, he would have joined the Pastor Mackenzie-led cult.
Nisikia akisema ati wenye walitoka Malindi, kuna wenye walitoka Malindi, wakaweka mkutano mahali kwa boma ya mtu fulani Mundika. Sasa walikuwa nasema ati wenye walitoka Malindi walienda binguni. Wenye walitoka Malindi waliwaambia ati wenye walikufa pale Shakahola walienda binguni. Sasa ikawa hiyo imani ni kama ilimuingia na huku anatuficha.
Owino seemingly started preparing for his journey to Shakahola days before he made the trip. He sold his livestock and anything else of value and told his family that he wanted to build a new house in Thiwa constituency where he owns a small farm.
Hapa aliuza vitu yake mingi. Kauza mbuzi, kauza makondoo, kauza makuku, akasema anaenda kule nyumbani kutengeneza mambo ya nyumbani kwa mashamba.
On the 20th of June, Owino left Busia with his 2 sons under the pretense of traveling to Thiwa, but they never reached their destination. A frantic search for him and the boys ensued until a call came informing the family that Owino had been strangled to death.
Vile ujumbe ilitufikia kwamba nikana kwamba amenyongwa. Juu hata mdomo iko na damu. Alafu shingo pia iko na injury. Sasa ujumbe ilitufikia ni kama amenyongwa. Ni kama alikuwa anajaribu kutoroka na akapatikana akanyongwa. Saidie tu kutafuta hao watoto na wanisaidie vile wanaweza pata watoto na vile mzee anaweza rudishwa nyumbani akazikwa.
The family is now seeking legal assistance to have his remains transported back to Busia as the search for the 2 young boys continues. Mudhoni Brenda for TV47, Nairobi.
Now, a family from Kiandutu in Thika is demanding answers after their relative, a 35-year-old Patrick Kinyanjui, suffered severe burns while being held at Thika Level 5 Hospital. The family claims Kinyanjui had been detained for failing to clear his hospital bill. During what is suspected to be an attempt to escape, he sustained serious burns under unclear circumstances. They're now demanding for the CCTV footage from the day and a thorough investigation into the conduct of the hospital staff.
A family from Kiandutu in Thika is crying out for justice, the voice drowned in the noise of neglect after their relative was left scarred while under detention at Thika Level 5 Hospital. Kinyanjui had been admitted to the facility a month ago with stomach complications, and after successful surgery, he remained at the hospital unable to pay the bill. According to his uncle, Kimeme Mungai, they were told by someone in the hospital that Kinyanjui had been burned.
Kama akona mambo alikuwa amefanya baya, angeshikwa, angeitwa polisi wamshike na wampeleke ndani, na ndio ile makosa alikuwa naye iende yaangalio ni makosa aina gani.
Kinyanjui had allegedly tried to escape by climbing a fence, but a cleaner stopped him. It is then that a hospital staff member reportedly poured a harmful chemical on his body, causing burns from his neck to his waist.
Kwa kila gate ya kuingia Thika Level 5 kuna security. Hata ukiingia huko ndani unakuta kuna security. Huyu mtu kuchomeka kwake kulipatikanaje? Na ni nani alimchoma?
Hospital reports show that 20% of his body was burnt and he's still being treated at the same hospital where the injury happened. Without informing the family, Kinyanjui was moved from his original ward to another.
Hiyo mtoto amechomwa baya sana, na ile odi alikuwa amesalaso ward 1B alikuwa ameondolewa huko.
His uncle Kimeme Mungai has asked the Kiambu County government, led by Governor Kimani Wamatangi, to take action and investigate the incident.
Mtu kuchomewa kwa hospitali na kuwa amekuja na hiyo ugonjwa ya kuchomwa. Alikuwa amekuja na ugonjwa ingine, lakini saizi yako na ugonjwa mara mbili. Tunaweza taka ukweli yake ipatikane.
Tunafanya kila jambo lenye inawezekana. Tumejitolea kuhakikisha tumeweza kupata kiini cha hiyo uhalifu.
The family says poverty should not lead to harm and is asking the government and human rights group to make sure hospitals are safe places for patients. Faith Wangare, TV47, Nairobi.
Folks, this is a whopper. Court documents now indicate that Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat never stepped aside. Instead, he applied for 18 days leave that was approved by his boss, Douglas Kanja. And now, as Linda Alela reports, Lagat started his leave a day after announcing his temporary exit. That whopper too long a while. But in the meantime, a Nairobi magistrate's court heard some startling revelations today about how police firearms were handled during the June 2024 Gen Z protests, which are linked to the fatal shooting of Rex Masai. Testimony presented before Principal Magistrate Jeffrey Onserigo revealed that Constable Simon Waweru, the officer suspected of firing the fatal shot, was issued a gun without signing for it. Even more concerning, that the firearms movement register at the police station had errors that had been covered up using whiteout. Here's more. Further confusion emerged when the court compared police records submitted in court with those at the station and finding major inconsistencies that witnesses struggled to explain. This hearing resumes on July 29th with more witnesses expected to testify.
Do you know the person who was signed against your name?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who is that person?
Kopromatin Gedeji.
So, Kopromatin Kedinji
is
the one who was signed against your name in
the other page.
in the movement register.
Yes, he had entered his name where he was not supposed to, and he has already written his name and signed.
Yes.
So the Amara did the cancellation of his name.
When you noticed the error, did you communicate to the in charge of the Amari?
No.
You did not.
One page. Is the same procedure repeated that morning before this entry is made?
Clarification, Your Honor. You don't sign as the in charge Amari writes the firearms. You wait for everybody, their names to be taken, then you sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was this one issued in your presence?
Yes, it was.
Was it issued to you?
Not to me. It was issued to the person who is there.
So you were there as?
We were waiting to sign.
So all of you here must have witnessed this cancellation.
Yes, Your Honor.
If we called any other officer, this is what they
maybe our wengine, maybe they don't know, but myself and in charge Ahmad, we were there.
Now let's look at some business news. And overlapping regional trade agreements are standing in the way of meaningful progress within the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, commonly known as COMESA. This is despite the bloc's potential to generate over $100 billion in trade. Members of COMESA, Trade and Customs Committee, have said that although some of the progress that has been seen is actually pretty good, intra-African trade still lags behind due to countries outside the continent not being able to come together properly. The African Continental Free Trade Area, which is still under review, could offer much needed alignment, but it faces resistance due to conflicting commitments within existing regional blocs. Experts now emphasize the urgent need for harmonized policies in order to unlock COMESA's full potential and stimulate stronger regional economic growth.
These statistics, coupled with the emerging global socio-economic challenges alluded to earlier, present compelling cases for us to take extraordinary measures to save our economies and the strong foundations that we have so far laid. I am confident that the delegates constituting this committee have the capacity to address the challenges bedeviling our region and continent, and to enhance intra-COMESA as a sure path to sustainable economic growth and development.
We believe that a strong integrated COMESA is essential for sustainable economic growth, job creation, and improved livelihoods for our people. We are dedicated to working collaboratively with all member states to overcome challenges and unlock the full potential of our region.
Now, folks, banks in Kenya are increasingly turning towards short-term digital loans in order to attract borrowers and reduce non-performing loans. NCBA's digital banking platform, Loop, has launched a 30-day quick loan product aimed at customers seeking fast and flexible credit. However, the loan comes with a 7% upfront facility fee and a 7% rollover charge for any unpaid balances after 30 days. The bank says that the fees are designed to encourage timely repayment while still offering convenience to digital-first clients. The trend reflects growing demand for short-term credit solutions, particularly on mobile and digital platforms. All right, time for some sports, and the stage is set for the opening leg of the 2025 National Sevens Circuit as the Driftwood Sevens returns to Mombasa on the 26th to 27th July at the Mombasa Sports Club. The Kenya Rugby Union has released the official pool draws for both Division 1 and Division 2, confirming that teams that will battle it out will do so as the new season kicks off. In Division 1, defending circuit champions Kenya Harlequins headline Pool A, where they will face Masinde Muliro University, KU Blackblood and Mwamba RFC. Pool B will see Kenya Cup winners Kabras Sugar take on Catholic Monks, Nakuru RFC and Impala RFC. KCB RFC, who finished as runners-up in the 2024 circuit, are placed in Pool C alongside Nondescripts, Daystar Falcons and hosts MSC Rugby. Pool D will feature Menengai Oilers, Strathmore Leos, Stallions Rugby and Kabarak University. In Division 2, a total of 36 teams submitted applications to compete, but final pool placement was based on established Kenya Rugby Union criteria. 6 slots were reserved for the KRU affiliate clubs, 7 were allocated to teams from the coastal region, 4 were awarded based on past tournament performance, and 3 were assigned based on team rankings from previous circuit legs. And now Athletics Kenya have named about 58 athletes to represent Kenya at this year's World Championships in Tokyo in September. And the team was selected after a rigorous day of national trials which were held at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, during which the top 2 finishers in each discipline earned an automatic ticket, provided that they met the qualifying time that was stipulated. Here's a report by Alan Zuki to really break it down and to know who's going to represent us in Tokyo.
Kenya will be represented by a total of over 55 male and female athletes in this year's edition of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. The women's 4x400 team stole the headlines today with a new national record of 3 minutes 27.50 seconds during the national trials held today at the Ulinzi complex. Youngster Faith Cherotich showcased her class as she sealed a ticket to the championship, crossing the line with 9 minutes 9.44 seconds on the clock.
Najua watu wengi millions of Kenya wanatarajia nilete medals huko Tokyo, but nda work hard, sitawale down. Yeah.
World champion Faith Kipyegon will represent Kenya in the 1500 and 5000 meters, while British Chebet will hope to reign supreme in the 5000 and 10,000 meter races.
Second now is just to train healthy. I just want to break out to stay healthy, injury free towards Tokyo, because I know I'm going to double both 15 and 5, and I know it's not an easy job to do to double, but I hope through the training and preparation, I hope everything will be well.
Youngster Edmund Serem will team up with Simon Kowech and Abraham Kibiwot in the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase.
Let's have been going to Diamond Leagues, and so more of my Diamond Leagues, 90% of them have been on podium and good times. So for now, I know them. I've competed with Sevian El Bakali, Girma, all of them. So now we only need the mindset to be strong.
Meanwhile, teenage sensation Fanuel Koech, Reynolds Cheriot and former world champion Timothy Cheriot will be on the hunt for silverware in the men's 1500 meters.
Nimeangalia mmoja wetu ameweza kukimbia mzuri, so sasa matarajio sasa nienda kukaa kwa kambi, tupange tufanye program wote sisi, ndo tukifika huko kila kitu itakuwa sawa.
Kenya's most beloved Ferdinand Omanyala and Olympic champion Timothy Wanyonyi will also fly the Kenyan flag high, with the tournament slated to officially start on 13 September in Tokyo. Zuki Allen for TV47 Sports.
All right, Royal Johannesburg Golf Club's Pranay Kapoor clinched the 2025 Kabete Open held at the VetLab Sports Club, finishing 1 over par 217 over 54 holes during the 3-day tournament. Kapoor produced a consistent performance across 3 rounds, carding 78 and 68 in the first 2 rounds before finishing 1 under par for his final round to secure the win ahead of defending champion Adel Taufik Balala of Nyali Golf and Country Club, as well as Gilbert Chalway, also of Royal Johannesburg Golf Club, who both finished on 219. Or rather 219. Teenage sensation Kanana Mudomi finished as the best lady with an overall score of 10 over par 226, tied in position 8 overall. Focus now shifts to the second bit of the 3-part Kenya Swing Series, with the Kenya Amateur March Play Championship teeing off this Friday, the 25th of July, through to Sunday, the 27th at the Sigona Golf Club. And folks, that's all we have for you as far as news is concerned. But now we want to shift gears. We have a group in studio already. Our guests are here. They're ready. This is a conversation that we all have been wanting to have. We probably have had this conversation in different ways and from different angles and in different spaces, but it's still something that's relevant to you and I. What pushes our young people to go to the streets? What is it that's a motivation? What are these unresolved grievances that repeatedly put these passionate young people in line, or rather in the line of danger to actually put these grievances across? What makes them risk life and limb to put a point across is essentially what we're trying to find out. Let's find out the struggle. Let's find out the motivation, and let's find out the objective. All that and so much more just after this break, when the People's Court begins.
Also coming up after the break, what takes them to the streets? What pushes young people to the streets? We speak to the passionate youth activists who are on the front lines, demanding change and fighting for a better tomorrow. Their stories, their struggles, and what keeps them going.